mammals, welcome to another video. Have you been thinking about starting a nature career or wildlife career? Or do you want to make your passion for nature your career, your life, your job, your mission? Do you have a big passion for wildlife that you want to take to the next level? Well, you climbed up the right tree. Because today we're going over five nature careers, or even more than career, like paths in life that have everything to do with nature. 5 of the best, 5 of the most useful that you can achieve, alright? So these are not things that you need $1 million for or that take 50 years to achieve. This is within your reach. This is an important video because... Hey mammals, thanks for tuning in. I just want to say that the rest of the videos are separate videos and they are all in the description in the same playlist. So if you want to discover more wildlife career paths, definitely check out those videos. But for now, enjoy this one and let's go wild. In this video you might actually discover your mission, your purpose, and also for those who are still on the fence, I'm here to tell you we need you, nature needs you, all the animals out there in the wild that are going extinct need you, need your help, the future needs you. Everything counts, mammals. You, me, and every action, every move we make, it all counts. You can be another step towards saving the planet. Okay, another step towards the right direction. Another step towards making the planet green again. That's the ultimate goal. So join us in this amazing journey of saving the world. Oh well, saving the world, at least helping the world. Come on, let's do this. Alright? So let's get into this video. Here we go. 5 wild careers. The first one is a wildlife ranger. This is important. They're all important. What is a ranger? A ranger is any professional involved in the protection and management of national parks, nature areas, wildlife and cultural sites. The rangers are the unsung heroes of the bush. They actually die to protect wildlife, but it is absolutely necessary. A ranger's work is quite dynamic and it covers 6 key areas. Going on patrols, monitoring wildlife, combating poaching, engaging local communities, managing fires, wildfires, and assisting with tourism. So the first one, patrolling. Patrolling. Is it patrolling or patrolling? Just like a male lion who's patrolling his territory. That's what rangers also do. Checking out if there's anything wrong, what's going on, if there are any abnormalities. So the average ranger goes on a 10 to 15 kilometer patrol every day, and there are 2 types of patrols that they do. The short ones and long ones. The short ones are daily. They start very early in the morning, of course, before sunup. They usually go on a 3-hour patrol, basically to check out if there has been any poaching activity or just checking up if everything is alright. Then they return in the afternoon. They all come together with their leader to discuss their sightings, if there was anything wrong or not. Usually they do another patrol in the evening. So those are the short patrols. That's about 3 hours, morning and in the evening. Then we've also got the long patrols. It's not really a patrol anymore. It's more a living in the wild mission. This is called a long range patrol. And this doesn't take 3 hours. This takes 4 to 7 days, up to a week, sometimes even longer. They take all their survival gear and go off into the wild. This is of course to cover more area, more land, and they will do this with more people. A 3-hour patrol, you could do that alone. A long range patrol for a week in the African bush, no way that you're gonna do that alone, especially if you actually encounter poachers. What are you gonna do? If you're alone, you've got a big problem. That's the first one, patrolling. Monitoring wildlife. This is also, of course, part of what they do when patrolling. Rangers are the eyes and the ears of the forest and the bush. Protecting wildlife and the landscape, the ecosystems, is the key purpose behind their patrols and behind what rangers do. So yeah, as I said, monitoring wildlife is part of going on a patrol, making sure you've got a somewhat of an overview of what's going on, if there is any poaching activity. That's monitoring wildlife. Of course, if there wasn't any monitoring, criminals and poachers would be free to go and no one would see it. So then of course, talking about poaching, combating poaching. To combat the war, because that's actually what it is, against poaching. Whilst out on patrols, rangers are not just looking for animals and wildlife, but also of course for poaching activities, poachers, snares and stuff. Any sign of illegal activity. Poaching and the illegal wildlife trade are a very big problem, are a very immediate threat to many species. Poaching isn't limited to animals either. It's also illegal logging is also a big problem. Deforestation. It destroys the habitat, ecosystems, biodiversity. It destroys everything. That is anti-poaching, of course. Then that's just looking for tracks for illegal activity. When you actually encounter poachers, the poachers themselves, that's where it gets dangerous. You can't argue with those people usually. They've got guns, you know. Sometimes the poachers are even better armed than the rangers. Or sometimes they're too late. An animal has already been poached and that stuff. So there's a lot of stress and danger involved. So yeah, massive respect for all the rangers. Sometimes the poacher gets killed, but sometimes also the ranger. Of course, the best thing would be that no one gets killed. I mean, the best thing would be if guns weren't even necessary, of course. But yeah, that's not the world that we live in. So sometimes you have to fight evil with evil. Sometimes you have to fight guns with guns. I hate guns. Yeah. That's of course the most dangerous part about being a ranger, wildlife ranger. Not even the animals themselves, like a lion or a hippo. Yes, they can be dangerous. Or buffalo. Ooh, they can be aggressive and dangerous, but usually they just want to be left alone. Poachers are the true evil. But the next thing that rangers do, this is more friendly, and that is engaging with communities. And with communities, I mean the people that live in these wild areas. A ranger's work obviously doesn't stop by patrolling and fighting against poaching. What they do is they go to these communities, to these people, and they basically explain everything about nature, about the wildlife around them, and they try to connect the people with the wildlife and the ecosystem around them so they can protect it and respect it, you know, instead of destroying it. So the rangers are basically the middleman. The ranger is responsible for the connection between people and nature, between people and animals. So it's very important. Ultimately, the protection and conservation of wildlife comes down to people. So you gotta engage with people, connect them, try to get their respect, try to get them to understand how important it is. Just like I'm doing right now, right here. It's about building a future where nature and humans can thrive together. Very important aspect of the ranger's job is going to the communities and educating them about the wildlife surrounding them. Basically the ecosystem that they share with all the other animals. Because sometimes even people that live in nature don't necessarily know how important it is. More people need to absolutely do this. This is one of the most important things ever in the world, in the history of the planet. The connection between man and nature. It's also the same thing, if gone wrong, that causes the destruction of everything. The connection right now isn't good, or the connection isn't there at all. And therefore, we've got so many problems, you know, the whole climate change. That's because the connection is not strong enough. Then, of course, another thing, this is an aspect of climate change, managing fires. So both natural fires and man-made fires. Some fires are good, they actually refresh the landscape sometimes. For example, when the tall grass catches fire, insects spring out of the fire, birds get to eat, it creates another little food chain. Old vegetation burns off and new vegetation grows. So that's good. But now, of course, nowadays fires get too big, too frequently, so then it becomes destructive, of course. And then, of course, you've got man-made fires, which is basically always bad. But small-scale fires, natural fires, improve the fertility in the ground and stuff. It's quite beneficial for the ecosystem sometimes. Especially during dry seasons, a large scale of a ranger's time is actually spent battling big fires. And then, of course, the last one is assisting with tourism. Tourism is also very important, is a very important opportunity to get people to engage with wildlife, get people to understand and respect nature, to educate people about wildlife, nature, ecosystem, everything. So a lot of the times you see rangers guiding people through national parks in the car, of course, in an open Jeep. That's very iconic. Of course, they know the landscape, they know all about it. They know the animals, they know their behavior, they know where they like to hide, when they're active, when not. They know all the best spots. So rangers also make sure that tourists don't do anything stupid, that they are respectful towards the animals, that they don't throw out their garbage or anything. There are a lot of stupid people, or that they jump out of the car. Oh man, but I've seen it, we've all seen it, that some people just, step out of the car, or crazy actions like that. Those people don't belong there. That is how you can know that some people just don't know shit about animals or wildlife. They don't know anything about the animals nor the danger of it. So rangers make sure that people are not stupid and they respect all of the stuff around them, that the tourists behave respectfully.